we've been working in the expansion space for quite some time. And so we really wanted to go and solve that big problem in helping to make that path much clearer to people and creating very, very clear decision tools to help them navigate through all these different phases of global expansion. And I think one of the hardest part, to be honest, in working with organizations and leaders sometimes is the sort of the big challenge of aligning around growth levers inside an organization. And so when we meet with leaders, oftentimes they are prioritizing new products, they are prioritizing new segments, and new markets is the lowest prioritized growth lever. But it is our opinion that going international can actually increase your company valuation much more than creating new segments or creating new products. And so that's what we try to change in the dynamic inside the organization. And so usually the way that we do it, and that is proven to be most effective, is when we run what we call our Global Capability Score Assessment. That is an assessment that we have online. It's a survey. You can find it on globalclasscompany.com. But it's not just one person taking that assessment, but it's actually the entire C-suite taking that assessment, where we then go in and analyze what are the misalignment areas within the organization around growth levers, alignment, how they envision building the organization in terms of team, structures, and all of these different things. And then we go and actually socialize these key tools and key themes that we have learned over time to make sure that we increase the confidence of global, that increases the conviction towards global, that then leads to an increased commitment towards global. Because oftentimes where global expansion fails is when that does not exist. And in particular, also the resources are not available to support global expansion effectively, to the point of Amazon example a little bit earlier. So that's our ultimate goal, to kind of help bump that up as a higher priority inside the company.
And often this magic thing happens with the companies that are successful going global. And it's not scientific per se, but somewhere when revenue from international becomes 30 to 40% plus, all of a sudden everyone's like, oh, this matters a lot. It's just how hard, how much money is wasted, how much time is wasted, how many battle scars for the people fighting for it happen before that magic moment. And so companies who plan for this, as Klaus said, align the growth drivers, understand the potential, and use some of the structures we're talking about, that's going to help with fewer scars, less time, less money that needs to be invested to get to that magic point.
But also to the point earlier, companies like Remo First can actually help de-risk a lot of these things, because building small and agile teams in new markets can be a way of actually doing discovery over time, right? So you hire talent that are, high potential talent in key markets that you're looking at potential future strategic markets. And then as part of the role and scope is to identify whether or not there's an opportunity in that market. So doing those assessments, understanding that market, and then obviously making maybe a future or a higher potential investment into actually accelerating growth in that market. So I really think partnering with a company like Remo First can help accelerate that growth, but also de-risk expansions as they move forward.